Okay, I want to say hello again everybody, it's only me, Wushu Richard, and welcome to another episode, a quick episode here of Your Feedback. Okay, I'm very happy to be making this show, and I'm really happy actually, Adam Phillip. Okay, hello Adam Phillip, you're a fellow Kung Fu practitioner, right, a fellow martial artist. And you've asked me a question, okay, about short range distance and how to deliver, power in that short range distance. I mean, that's a very good question, because for me, I practice a lot of Wing Chun, as you know, as my main style, which is a close range combat system. But I practice a lot of different Kung Fu arts and martial arts anyway. In fact, last night I filmed up a very long talk video. I was talking about that. Making the video for you, okay? So anyone watching, okay, please subscribe to Adam Phillip. He's a great martial artist. You'll see him breaking stuff and really getting the crack in, yeah. I mean, he's got that chi flow. I mean, he's a real martial artist. But I'm just doing that, as I say, though. Adam Phillip. I want to just make this video short and simple, really, because I was really talking a lot in the other footage, and I don't know if I'm going to put that up or not. I might delete it. If I do share it, I will, but if I don't, I'm just making this video for you now, okay? Listen, Adam Phillip, short and simple, short and sharp, right? In close range distance, okay, well, I think the best thing to think about is, like, you've got different ways of training your power. Also, you've got your internal to think about and your external. But the thing in terms of different kind of training for that different kind of strikes, you'll know very well what I'm talking about in terms of breaking stuff. But what I want to mention, okay, is when you do, if you're talking about training for like close range distance shots, you've got to think about a few different things. First of all, training for things like I train, right, my strikes and things like that, in terms of like external and internal, instead of like soft strikes, because I focus on a lot of soft styles in my training that you might find in like Aikido or Ninjutsu. I practice a lot of like sticky hand Wing Chun and like Tai Chi concepts that absorb, all that kind of stuff, like absorbing the opponent's energy and using their energy against them, their force against them. That's what my training focuses on. But again, a lot of my training is Wing Chun orientated, so you're going in with that straight blast, even like an elbow shot, things like that. But you can be like too mechanical sometimes in terms of like moving the whole body, whereas you want to relax and let it come from the internal and focus on the power. There's different ways of, as you will know, of executing the power, letting it come out and blast it out, But what I would say, okay, is working your strikes, hitting on something. One good way would be like for a punch bag. Okay, let's say like a punch bag hanging up, or a kick bag, whatever, working on striking something like that, where it's gonna and try not to let it sway or swing about too much. Try to it might sound funny, but try and make go for like an internal strike, if you know what I'm trying to say. Try and hit the thing and try to make sure that all your power's solid, and you don't end up pushing the thing back, but it's like you've got enough power there to send the shock through the thing, or just try hitting the thing, and as it moves, and then wait for it to come back. You might rock back a bit, and then you hit it again. That's another good one you could do, working from a long, close range and trying, whereas as opposed to doing it, holding it back and whacking it in. Again, different kinds of striking, palms as well as fists, as different areas of the hand, things like that. Okay, there's different kind of striking services, like elbows, forearm strikes and stuff like that. I'm mentioning that the hands, for example. But Wing Chun, you're talking about a lot of different stuff in Wing Chun, aren't you? Because you're talking about the wrist motions and things like that, working the actual when to get where to put the power into certain areas, even for crane and things like that. I don't know, I know I'm beating about the bush here and not really going anywhere with this, but for me, with my training that I do in the winter, for my striking, basically it's for conditioning my whole body, in terms of forearm strikes, as you've seen, I think, right, on my videos, the Tai Chi combat, I do on the trees, forearm strikes, working in with the Wing Chun, going into the locks, trapping on trees, and I'll be striking even bare fist boxing in the winter on literally, on the trees, gradually conditioning it up. You've seen how the Kyokushin karate guys train, I'm meaning that, but it's look, that's what I'm trying to say, right? You've got your physical side, and then you've got your internal, side, you know what I'm saying, in terms of like executing the actual strikes. But the one thing you remember, okay, is that what opponents you're striking for, what you're it doesn't matter if you're in long range or close range. Excuse me, for you're really pretty tired, bit sleepy. I'm okay, busting it out. There's like the power you're thinking about, like blasting strikes out, you know, doing damage to your target, let's say. But then you've also got the thing to think about is in what is that target? You've got to study your opponent, you know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't matter if you're training on punch bags or concrete walls like I do. I practice on walls and trees and whatever. I mean, yeah, but you're gradually working in, of course, not going mad. But it's like, the thing is like, you've got to control your energy really and work the technique. It's all about the structure, as like Bruce Lee would say, in the, you know, the 1 inch punch and all that. But I'm not talking about that. I'm just trying to say, you know, Kung Fu in general. You go from the ground, rooted up through your legs and the whole body, the spine, the waist, and not being too stiff, but like putting it out through the hands, as opposed to just the mechanical whacking it in, you know. That's one thing. That's one thing there. You see different like training methods where there's like soft strikes and things like that. You see too, don't you? Like where that's a different subject, but like somewhat. But like things where it's like, you know, where I've seen even like movies and real demonstrations on videos where there's people like holding a piece of paper up, and if you try to hit the piece of paper hard, you won't break it, but if they get like a slight flick of the hand or a certain point being light, and you can rip a hole through it, you know, and it'll be precise. And you'll see things like that a lot in a lot of kung fu films too, and things like war, where it's like a piece of paper and behind it they've got like a pot you try to shatter, things like that. Again, you're going on to like internal strikes and stuff, but what I'm not talking about really though is like, really the most important thing to think about is when you're training is like training for hitting a body. I mean a really big built person, that's a very strong person, you might not do much damage even in that close range, might do less damage than you would from a far out shot, you know what I'm saying, but you're talking about developing though the close range power, so that's okay. I mean you're talking about that, that's what you want to be developing. You might have the long range, pretty good power, you know, but you can always improve both and make use of both and that. But the thing is like, in martial arts you don't want to waste it more energy, you know, than you should be using, you know, and that. Another thing to think, so what I'm trying to say is you'd be better like going for vulnerable points and stuff. Again, like Bruce Lee mentioned that again, you know, but I'm just saying it from my point of view because I'm not even a massive fan of Bruce Lee. I'm just mentioning because people know he would say things like that. Going for like vulnerable targets and stuff, you know, I mean like vulnerable areas and stuff. My teacher was a big, he was in the know about, you know, vital points and all kinds of stuff like this, you know, and all these chin-nail points and all that, you know. But what I'm trying to say, look, is pressure points, you know, that. But look, if you're going like to weak parts of the body, you know, striking to those vulnerable areas, that and focusing on your opponent's that balance and how to like get him into another position or hurt him slightly, that might work better for you. And plus you've got different kind of strikes. You've got strikes like for a hit or a push, or a hit and a push at the same time, to different levels going in. You've got your internal to think about, your external, what kind of damage you're trying to do too. So study your moves, study your stance work, literally, really, in the root, and study what you're doing, and study striking different surfaces and feel that power in different ways. Also, if I was you, okay, study your breaking techniques, Adam Phillip, because you've got your, if that's your full name, excuse me, you know, because you've got skill in that already, and I think you should do that. Try standing things up too. Try standing things up too if you could. Just a bit of advice to you, even somewhere or another, standing up vertical, like in front of you somewhat. So you're actually training certain punches or strikes or chops, something like that on them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like in front of you, as opposed to going straight down. See how well you're able to do like strikes like that. But it's not about that. I mean, it takes all kinds of training and force. You know what I mean? It's like getting the shot and into the force, or the force into the shot. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah? It's a lot. But if you've got very soft hands and you end up going full speed and smacking it into a piece of concrete or something really harder than the human body, chances are you'll bust your bones if they're brittle. But if you train and condition yourself gradually, you'll be able to, I won't say that you will ever be harder than concrete or stone, although it's said that way, but what you will become is stronger, that you actually have the power, and you will learn about the power and the control of your body, the hard and the soft. I know you've got a lot of understanding already, but to be actually able to do what you do, man, I mean, to bust through things. Now, think about what you want to do, why you want to do it, and then train for that, okay? And so, you know what I'm trying to say now? It's about, you got that physical stuff, even that stuff like doing like push-ups on your knuckles or whatever in your hands, you know what I mean? Push-ups and all that on your fists, or striking the hard surfaces like I do. That's a kind of like conditioning, but it's like all that's going to help you for close range. But I'll give you a little tip then from my side, okay? Is practice a lot of energy moves and big movements too. Literally, practice flowing around, fast movements and striking and that, because you're practicing that kind of stuff, even like holding weights, even doing that slowly. You know, practice big moves, I'm saying, slowly and fast. You'll gradually develop a lot of power into your arms, so when you're in a short stance, short range, you can relax your shoulders and put your strikes into it. Study the mechanics of the body and how that might work, because sometimes there's like tricks in it too. Tricks involved where you utilise the whole actual flow of your body into it, like that whipping motion, or how it's working in to a weaker, vulnerable target, as in your opponent standing in a certain way. You might do you might do a strike on somebody and say, wow, you might realise, yeah, my close range power is getting better now, but that person might have been weaker or standing in a position you didn't realise it, you know what I mean? But you might try it on somebody else and it might not even do anything to him. Than if you were to have done a long range, flying in with a punch or kick, and really done some good damage. But so it's not about long or close. You've got to be using the science of it, is what I'm saying, and then studying the science of it too, and being realistic. But train by all means your big movements and your small movements. And when you're doing like close range, work in close range. You can't read a book from the other side of the world. You have to get, first we got the internet for, you've got to back to reality, so it's like literally, if you want to train for close range, don't stand far out from a wall and then fly your fist straight into it, karateka, you end up busting your fist if it's not conditioned. You have to gradually work that in, and then when you gradually get closer and closer and closer, don't get tense but relax, and you'll work out the shot, how to relax it. I'm doing it on the wall now for you, look man. I'm just saying that, literally, I'm trying to say that. I'm not going to do it here, but of course. But you'll gradually learn how to actually do the business. Alright, train on, stay safe. I'll stop the video here. Thanks.